Hello, my name is Sooyeon Lee, and I'm a PhD student in the College of Information Sciences and Technology at the Pennsylvania State University. I would like to present our research work, The Emerging Professional Practice of Remote-Sighted Assistance for People with Visual Impairment. This research work presents the professional practice of remote-sighted assistance provided through a video chat platform and how they interact with the people with visual impairment, as well as the challenges and strategies they have for different contexts. People with visual impairment utilize both assistive technologies and assistance from sighted people for performing their daily tasks. However, both have limitations. In general, most of assistive technologies do not have intelligence to be able to adapt to situational changes and accommodate individual differences. Human assistant has that intelligence. However, their availabilities are not guaranteed and are limited. Then we learned about the professional prosthetic assistive technology service using remote-sighted assistants are available for people with visual impairment to use. This motivated us to study how helpful and useful of this hybrid form with the combination of technology and human is for possibly addressing the limitation of each alone. One of the well-known platforms is Aira, and we decided to use Aira as a research example of the remote-sighted assistant platform to study the practice of their assistance. The Aira agent and the client are connected through the Aira app, and they use video chat to interact with each other. So with the study, we wanted to answer these research questions. What is the experience of providing remote-sighted assistance? What are the distinctive challenges the agent face in different contexts? Lastly, what strategies they use to manage those challenges? To answer our research questions, we recruited 14 Aira agents. Their age ranged from 22 to 50 years old through the help of company Aira, and we conducted semi-structured, in-depth phone interviews with each agent. Then we did bottom-up thematic analysis with collected data and found 4 contexts where remote-sighted assistance is used. The first is the scene description and object identification. The second is navigation. And third is performing tasks. And lastly, social engagement. For each of 4 contexts, I'll present foundational knowledge the agent need, challenges and strategies they face and have, and the interaction styles emerges from each of 4 contexts. For the context of scene description and object identification, the foundational knowledge the agent needs to have is how severe of the visual impairment of the client and the onset of the visual impairment. The agent said, I see that someone has been blind for 5 years or 10 years. I know I can talk about color. If I meet someone that has been blind their whole life, I can use different descriptions like a shape. Also, knowing about background and experience is very helpful. Lastly, level of details in description. With this information, the agent knows how to present and provide visual information in a way that the client finds it helpful and useful. In this context, the need of adjusting the phone position is found to be challenging because it is time-consuming and annoying process. The agent uses customization for distance information. The agent Olivia gave an example. Even if it's supposed to be 6 inches, if I know they are moving a foot for every inch I say, I'll just say, can you move half of an inch? The agent also uses analogies and try to be as objective as possible when they describe visual information. In the navigation context, the knowledge that the agent needs to have is the client's preference in the directional vocabulary, whether they like left, right, degrees, or clock face. Also, that the client is a cane or guided user, and their orientation and mobility skills is important knowledge to have. One of the policies the agent follow is a silence rule for the case of intersection crossing, and they said is made with orientation and mobility trainer. The agent Brandon commented about this rule. I remain silent as you cross, because it's imperative that the explorer can hear everything that is happening in the intersection. We are not a replacement for their orientation and mobility training. In the navigation task, three notable challenges are found. The first, having to deliver too much information, meeting unexpected road condition or construction, and using not accurate and poor map. The agent cabin expressed the challenge. They are walking faster than people who are sighted. I actually need them to slow down. Words take time to express meaning. Negotiating with the client about the pace of walking and prioritizing information are the common and effective strategy that the agent found to be useful and used to face the challenges. Teamwork and mutual trust are the major component of the interaction and the important contributors for successful navigation task. The agent Brandon said the biggest theme would be like the teamwork between the Aira agent and when they have a dog, because the dog is able to do a lot of obstacle avoidance, so all we need to do is description and general directions. In the context 3, task performance, the agent is asked to help on performing a specific task, such as presenting in front of audience, cooking, making a piece of furniture, or building treadmills. So the agent needs to have specific topical knowledge and know how to find information needed from available resources. They said Google search, YouTube work well, and also using Slack to communicate with other agents have been very helpful. The agent Brandon mentioned about its usefulness. If we have a task that we have no idea how to do, we can pretty much send it on the Slack channel and say, hey, anybody know how to do this? The unique challenge that the agent faces in the context of task performance is need to help the client with visual impairment to cope with their frustrations. The agent Jen expressed this challenge. I have to try to calm them down, but they don't want to listen, so they can be really frustrating. The most important thing that the agent can do is just be patient. How the agent manages this situation is understanding and empathizing the client's emotional status, remaining calm and neutral, and being patient. The interaction style unique to this context is continuous information flow about what the agent and the client are each doing. The agent Sarah said we always let them know what we are doing. Part of being an agent is getting used to narrating what we are doing. Also, more of collaboration and close coordination are needed and happened. The fourth context is social engagement. Uniqueness of this context is that agent is asked to help the client to interact with others in social setting. Thus, in this context, what the agent needs to be able to do is understanding social context, quickly interpreting and adapting to the context of the interaction, and also making creative communication protocol with the client. The agent Brandon shared his experience of helping the blind dad to help his son to learn math. What do you want me to say or help with? Because I don't want to take away from the connection between you and your son. It's kind of being in a way like a ghost helper. The specific challenge occurring in this context is balancing between distracting and facilitating social situation. The agent Sarah expressed this challenge. That is a challenge, speaking as little as possible while also giving them an effective experience. Also, the need of interacting with the third party makes the agent feeling not comfortable. Strategic coordination for the communication found to be a key for making the social engagement task successful. Interaction style particularly seen in this context is discrete conversation and nonverbal communication with using text messaging and hand gestures. The agent Sarah said, someone would send a message and let me know they were in a situation and they couldn't talk. And I would verbalize to them because they would still be able to hear. From these findings from four contexts, we discuss specific challenges in design implication and opportunities for each of four contexts. For the scene description and object identification context, we had three discussion points. First, the need of domain knowledge. Could scheduling calls with specific agent be helpful? Second, we proposed the question of how the phone positioning process found to be not efficient could be simplified. Lastly, is a way of leveraging the strength of people with visual impairment. Could high-speed spoken language be used for reading lengthy text instead of having the agent taking a long time to read the text? For the navigation context, we brought three design implications for the discussion topics. First is having two agents for the challenges of too much information delivery. Second, could providing a secondary sensory information channel helpful for the concern of possible cognitive overload of auditory-only information. Third is considering utilization of people with visual impairment orientation mobility skills to better cope with the complex and dynamic nature of the navigation context. For the task of performance context, we discuss about inconsistency in assistance between agents caused by agents having discretion in using their own creative strategy. We propose that incorporation of performance support and interpretation of nonverbal cues into the agent training for providing consistently effective assistance. For the social engagement context, we discussed three challenges and design implications for the three. For the difficulty in discerning when to speak and when not, could an official protocol designed for the client to use hand gesture to let the agent know? For better interaction with the third party to facilitate the social interaction of the client, obtaining information about the third parties, if permitted, would be helpful. Lastly, using AI for describing nonverbal cues and facial expressions, which are sensitive and difficult to describe. Our findings show that remote-sided assistance system equipped with remote human assistant and advanced technology augment human capability. The system puts the human element at the center and utilizes the creativity, adaptability, flexibility, and emotional intelligence, and also supports the collaborative conversational interaction. These together could provide satisfying assistive experience to people with visual impairment, and with our design implication and insight, we suggested that opportunity of the future RSA improvement. Please contact me by email sul131@psu.edu for any question regarding this research work. Thank you.